You are welcome in the 86th episode of Biochemistry classes organized by Society of Career Technology and Jan Vikas Mahasabha. So we were talking about carbohydrate metabolism, and as I already told you that metabolism is all reactions taking place in our body. It includes some synthetic reactions which is called anabolism and some breakdown type of reactions which are called catabolism, and both summed together make the metabolism. In our body there are many fates of glucose molecule. Anabolism takes place by the chlorophyll molecule of green plants during photosynthesis, and the other catabolic reactions take place in our human body. There are many pathways. One, the glycogenesis, in which glucose is converted into glycogen. Second, the glycogenolysis, where the breakdown of glycogen takes place to form glucose molecules. Then there is glycolysis or Embden-Meyerhof pathway, in which 6-carbon glucose is broken up to the level of 2 molecules of 3-carbon carbohydrates, the 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. Then there is an HMP shunt, hexose monophosphate shunt, in which 5-carbon carbohydrates, ribose and deoxyribose, are synthesized for nucleotide biosynthesis. If there is a shortage of glucose in blood and there is no stored glycogen, in that case some glucose may be synthesized from non-carbohydrate sources, from the fatty acids or amino acids, which is called gluconeogenesis. Sometimes during much more energy requirement in the muscles, some anaerobic respiration takes place to form the lactic acid, and that lactic acid is again converted into glycogen or glucose. There is a movement between liver, blood and muscles. That cycle is called Cori cycle. And then there is Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle or TCA cycle, in which the breakdown after acetyl coenzyme A takes place. Associated with glycolysis and Krebs cycle, there is ETS and oxidative phosphorylation. One more important thing is there, acetyl coenzyme A molecule act as a metabolic mill, an intermediate stage combining the fat metabolism and amino acid metabolism. Now let us see all these processes one by one. Now, during glycogenesis, means formation of glycogen from glucose, which takes place in liver cells and muscle cells, there are 3 steps. First of all, in the presence of hexokinase enzyme and magnesium ion, glucose takes 1-phosphate from ATP molecule, forms glucose 6-phosphate. But this glucose 6-phosphate cannot be directly polymerized to form glycogen. So in the second stage, what happens? This glucose 6-phosphate in the presence of phosphoglucomutase is changed into glucose 1-phosphate, and then this glucose 1-phosphate is polymerized in the presence of phosphorylase enzyme to form glycogen and a phosphoric acid. Just opposite to this, glycogenolysis or breakdown of glycogen to form glucose also takes place in 3 steps in liver and muscle cells. First of all, glycogen along with a phosphate from phosphoric acid in presence of phosphorylase enzyme forms glucose 1-phosphate. Then glucose 1-phosphate again polymerized, broken by phosphoglucomutase enzyme to form glucose 6-phosphate. Glucose 6-phosphate in the presence of enzyme phosphatase changed into glucose plus phosphoric acid. There is an interesting point here. In liver and muscle cells, the phosphatase enzyme is absent in muscles. So this reaction stops at glucose 6-phosphate level only in muscles. third, in Cori cycle. What happens? As I told you that sometimes there is much more energy requirement in muscle cells during physical exercise. At that time, anaerobic respiration takes place to form lactic acid. That lactic acid is again converted into glycogen and glucose, which is later on oxidized by glycolysis and Krebs cycle. So there is a short cycle in between skeletal muscle, blood and liver. Lactic acid is converted into pyruvic acid and then glucose. It may be converted into glycogen, or it comes into the muscle cells. Then it is oxidized to form pyruvic acid and then lactic acid, or it can go for glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Now about HMP shunt or hexose monophosphate shunt. This cycle is important in the sense that it produces ribose 5-phosphate, which is utilized for nucleotide synthesis. At 2 steps, dehydrogenation takes place and the hydrogen goes to electron transport system to form 6 ATP. So in 6 cycle, the cycle is completed and 36 ATP molecules are produced. First of all, starting from glucose 6-phosphate, it is converted into, oxidized into 6-phosphogluconic acid. The 2 hydrogen are taken by NADP to form NADPH, and then a water is added, forms gluconic acid, COOH. In the second stage, what happens? 2 things take place, both dehydrogenation and removal of carbon dioxide or decarboxylation. So this CO2 is removed, this hydrogen is again removed, taken by NAD to form NADPH. So what will happen? This much complete set will form 5-carbon ribulose 6-phosphate. This is the crucial step. After that, what happens? It is isomerized and rearranged to form some more molecules. For example, by isomerization, this 5-carbon ribulose 5-phosphate is converted into gyrulose 5-phosphate or ribose 5-phosphate. Ribose phosphate is taken for nucleotide synthesis. Again, this gyrulose 5-phosphate and ribose 5-phosphate can be rearranged to form a molecule of 7-carbon heptulose 7-phosphate and 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde is important because it can be utilized in glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Again, these 2 molecules combine with each other and rearrange to form a 6-carbon fructose 6-phosphate and 4-carbon erythrose 4-phosphate. So this can be utilized for further chain of reactions. Cycle which provides ribose for nucleotide synthesis, and it also, without participation of oxygen molecule, it forms 36 ATP. Okay, thank you very much.